Now you have one hive. You could maybe not pack it in a little more, but the fact that you got 2 hives going and you want to keep this going the entire time that you're working the hives, so that's my second full handful.
If you have extra, though.
I do have some extras.
No, I'll get some.
He's got extras.
I just walk down my father's driveway with a rake. I don't rake, I just walk with it, and I have 2 or 3 big cardboard boxes full. Alright, so now the important part, after you get it going, when you close it up, try not to close anything in the cap, because it's aluminum. It bends, not aluminum. Whatever it is, it bends. So you're going to make opening here so the bellow's not going to press out nice smoke just like that. You have a tool, Paul?
Yes, I do.
It smells better than hay. It smells better than almost anything.
So you tested the heat for warmth or cold?
No, I was actually smoking my fingers, believe it or not. But you should have cold smoke, and that's a good way to test it. But most people have gloves on, so if you smoke with a glove, it's not going to do anything. No, I like to show up. Definitely try to be as gentle as possible. And the big thing, now here's Boardman feeders on the front. So obviously in order to take off the second box, you have to remove them. Just for the record, you can stand really close, not in front. I'm going to stand right here. Why? Does anyone know why? Because the sun is over my shoulder, and I can look at a frame like that. All right? I'll put it right there.
A little bit.
This is my family. Oh, look how clean it is.
So you opened it up for
I just,
a while ago?
no, I didn't open it. I just checked it.
Okay.
I looked inside.
So you just put in the fondant in?
Oh, yeah, fondant's in there.
No, but like late winter?
Yes.
You did.
Yes. And there's still some left. Oh. But I did the clean zone treatment, so I left this.
Yeah, I got one on board.
You got this beautiful camera.
Thank you.
I like how you keep it.
Thank you.
Very good camo. All right, so.
Except for the neighbors.
I bet you well it's okay. You just help
Now you're going to take the med brim right off. We will keep it nearby when we put it back on, but you can see how they ate the bag of syrup. Paul, when did you put the syrup in?
Last week.
So Paul put the syrup in, they ate a whole bag of syrup in 1 week. And how many bees drowned? Anyone doesn't believe that's there. So the pollen patty will keep. It's definitely soft, and if anyone knows anything about pollen patties, they will be hard as a brick. But the heat of the hive keeps them nice and soft. Now Paul keeps good bees. This is actually a swarm that I caught last year, and Paul installed it in his box, and they survived. You know why? Because I caught it, and his bees died, and then I don't think that was a mile. Was it a mile? Maybe a mile.
Yeah, maybe that.
Now, what I'm going to do with my old fondant, and when I make sugar syrup with hot water, is throw this in the hot water and break it down, because they're not going to eat this anymore. That's it for them. My paper will dissolve. So basically what we're doing now is we're going to examine the hive. This is unbelievable that this top box is drawn up. Anytime you drop something in or see a foreign object in the hive, get rid of it. Even if it's just a pine needle. And just for the record that so if you did this, if the hives weren't as close together, you could put that hook right on the hive.
Yes, exactly. Joe's gonna come to each and every one of us.
I have about 100 of my own to check out.
Put your hand on the tree.
See how that's pulling out?
Yep.
So,
Would you like me to hold the camera over here? It's a different view.
Sure.
Listen at all you're getting is bad.
I'm trying to.
Pulling out just because.
Thank you.
Sure.
these propellers are stronger than the glue. And Joe Gaglione didn't build these.
I built them.
So what I do is I'm try to be very careful not to pull the top bar out. I've broken a frame, and Nan Campbell was here last year when it happened. So amazing. What I was saying that this made this winter, and this frame is not even drawn out. So
What did you say? It's amazing they made it through this winter?
yeah,
And it's not
absolutely. Because this one doesn't have any honey stores on it either.
So you didn't have any burr comb on your door.
Burr comb, he had hardly any comb. Look at that. There's 2 frames. So now what I do with a dirty hive, this hive's so clean it's ridiculous. I clean that bar there. I clean that bar there. Now what I do is I'll shuffle. I'll pick up a frame, look at it, honey. If I go down the cells, you can see the glisten, right?
Yeah.
Pine needles out. Now,
Nice.
just glisten, it's honey. So I'm going to have to say this girl is the queen's down the bottom. Now this is the ear, okay? I want to scrape the ear. Scrape the ear. Now the other side. Get these ears perfectly clean. And I put it right back in against this frame, okay?
You keep them in order.
I'm keeping them on and putting them against.
So
I
don't you
didn't
have to
get
do
stuck.
the underside of that too, where it slides? Between the propellers?
See this frame?
Yeah.
See how it's kind of sliding nicely?
Yeah.
There's really nothing under there.
Oh, okay.
My 3- and 4-year-old frames, after a while of skipping, cleaning under there, it accumulates. But amazing that these made it through, Paul. Look at this is the 4th frame and there's nothing on it.
How come there's
Now,
wire inside that Durago?
It's amazing.
it's not wired Durago, it's wired wax.
Oh, you use wired wax.
Yes.
Oh, not Duragil.
Wow.
You can see how the eyelets, the wire, right? After a while, those wires do hide, but the fact that I'm looking in the sunlight onto my back is just, it makes it easy.
So, Joe, what were you saying the other night? If you're going to replace some of your frames with a different type of foundation,
Yep.
how would you do that again?
Like, just say I want to replace 2 frames
Yes.
in this hive. What I would do is I'd look at all these frames. I know they're empty. I can see this.
So those were full when.
No, these were probably pretty much empty. Maybe some of them had honey. But you can see, like, this might have had honey, but the other side of the hive didn't have drawn comb out. You know? So I have all my 8 frames all together. So, and I'd say this in the classroom, then I jack them all back at one time so I don't have any crushing in between frames. If I wanted to replace 2 frames, I put them right here, my 2 old frames, or my 2 brand new frames of foundation. Like if you want to replace, but in this hive, I know I put these back.
Wow.
Hold on, we didn't pull off the ear on that. One closest to it.
I know. Guess what?
Already in the
And I jack a little bit that way.
So,
And
and you,
which goes back to the question when people ask, how much do you have to clean your hive? Enough to move your frames.
so again, you said if 80% of your, so if 2 out of 10 are bad, it's okay.
Yeah, replace them. And depending on how bad. All right, now
When you
this,
say bad,
Burr comb.
like if you have burr comb, or if they drew out the frame underneath, if you have some comb, it's foundation, they draw the comb out here, so the beads can go underneath both sides of the the wax, and they didn't attach it to the foundation. That right there, you gotta get rid of it. If the frame's ruined, so there's a hole in it, if there's 80% effectiveness in the frame, then you're looking good. Oh, not pollen carrier, and they will land on you.
Yep.
You know, for resting and whatnot. So this is the manipulation part that we need to. Actually, you know what? I already know the bees are only in the bottom box. I mean, I know they're a little up top, but not what we really need to see, like the queen. So I'm not going to have to remove the boardmans unless I want to clean the bottom board, which I really should. So. So what I do with the top box, I just throw it right here.
So I bet in my hive, my bees are all in my top box because they've been so.
They would be in the top box if you had all comb up there and they were overwintered. Where Paul got this was a swarm last year, so the bees didn't develop as much. And like I said, he is unbelievably lucky that a hive with so little resources actually survived the winter. Like I said, it always goes to show you. He cared for it, he fed it, he medicated it, you know, did your best, and it made it through the winter. I mean,
That's awesome.
but if it was 30 degrees here and sunny, it's 54 and feels nice. So you got to figure this is a good insulated spot.
So this is a nice spot.
Yes, I'm right here.
Did you put honey supers on this hive this year?
That one.
That one, no, but this one over here, yes.
Yes. So did you have 2 deep boxes at first?
This hive is light as light can be.
Exactly.
A little pack tiny.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Mold.
Oh.
Okay. No big deal. That's very little. I mean, I've seen a whole frame of mold, but just to let you know that does happen. The bees will clean it.
This one's all complete.
Yep. All right. So now I'm gonna tap this over a little bit. You can see a little more mold here.
Put your new landing thing on tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I have to paint it today.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping to take the medicine rim off because I never had a chance to paint
So
it.
Joe, they survived on the honey just in the bottom super, right?
That's what it looks like. They really didn't survive them because look at.
So did
Nope, I'm just starting to use Dargo this year.
did you put any fondant on top?
I did.
So, but Joe, would they have like stayed at the bottom? Was the
If they, listen, guys, they can only cluster on comb.
okay, yeah.
You know,
Oh,
all
wow.
honey. But you
That's
guys,
awesome.
I really don't. You know, it's funny. I'm just looking for eggs and stuff. Honey doesn't even matter. I mean, the fact that they live right now and they have these 2 jars in front of them, that's survival right there. I need to see what she's doing.
Yeah.
How good of a hive?
Yeah, point.
Is it going to expand up? Do I need to re-clean it? Is it a dead hive? I mean, I know it's alive because there's bees in it, but if there's no viable queen in here, exactly. And this is a brood frame, right?
So how do we know there's...
We don't. That's
Oh,
all.
wow.
That's all nectar. See the shine?
Oh, that's beautiful.
All solid. That's all shining nectar. You everyone see the glisten?
Yeah.
So there's no brood at all in that one.
So,
So there's a way to clean your ears. You can just go like this, downward.
are you gonna have queens for people?
I will have some queens for people.
So
Yes.
you're making queens.
I make queens, but that's not until late May, June. And that's when I make my overwintered nukes. The nukes I make early in the season are purchased queens because I don't have queens. Yeah, that's brood. Awesome, right? There she is.
Where?
Wasn't that easy, right?
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Point it out again. I wasn't showing the camera. Okay.
So she's easy. She's going to the top bar. She is right there. Okay.
Wow.
So now I look at the other side. It's cap brood, some pollen over here. Some look where my thumb is. You seeing those cells?
Yeah.
There's larvae. Okay.
Oh.
So
No, see, I couldn't see that.
all right.
Son
So
of a gun.
it's not important for everyone to see the frame, but at one point everyone has got to get right behind me or right next to me. I don't know if anyone's noticed I haven't moved
You're
my
smart
feet
to see
once.
the... I wish I had turned my phone
I got a camera too.
on. Susan, you want to come over here?
And you haven't moved your feet because you don't want to step on a bee?
That's brood.
Yeah.
But what I really want to see is the open cell.
As long as they don't climb up my shirt.
Where do you see the brood, Joe? Well, there's
You
cap
see where my
brood.
finger's looking?
Yeah. There's
Ah.
little larvae. Yeah.
Little larvae.
Yeah.
Little boy, you can barely see them.
Oh. I think I might have had my finger over the lens. Sorry.
If they survive, they won't.
It's all glistening honey. So this queen,
Yeah, is that damage right in that spot? Sunk in.
what are you looking at?
Is that
Right there.
Oh, good. No, that's where they took out wax and used it for somewhere else. All right, so now, if you noticed, not a whole heck of a lot of pollen. You see pollen? Right? And here, 3 or 4 cells in the middle.
Yeah.
Other than that, not too much. They're bringing pollen, and that's it. That's their pollen wall. Sad but true. Okay.
What do you mean sad but true?
I have 1, 2, 3 brood frames. A lot of brood, and pollen on this one. So this is all honey. All honey. Gotcha. So in the scheme of life, I know those are honey. There's honey here with pollen. You have 4 frames with some brood on it. It was so cold the queen maybe did not lay, or it was such a small cluster they didn't advance more than they could keep it warm. If that queen went wild egg laying, the brood would have got chilled and would have died anyway. It would have been a waste. So what Paul has here is he has a hive with a viable queen, probably. I mean, seriously,
Did you
could leave
provide
one
the
box on
queen
this
with the
for a while.
swarm, or was it with the swarm? Or did
This
they
is a
make their
swarm
own?
hive, but once a hive is overwintered, it's not a swarm, it's not your package, it's your overwintered hive, okay? It was a bad winter. If this hive could have gotten another 2 weeks earlier in the season where it could have grown a little bit more, that'd have been awesome.
So where'd the queen come from?
This is
The swarm.
Oh, it came with the swarm. Okay.
Now, ready? Usually you do this, you see a ton of bees. Where are the bees?
Yeah, where are they?
They're
Getting pollen. Look at them all entering the hive with pollen. There's so
Where are
many.
they getting the pollen?
Maple. Only thing open right now is maple. If you look,
Yeah, right here. I think you see a big chunk on this bee. See this bee right here?
oh, we saw that one on the show.
Linden's not open. The only thing open now is maple.
So, question. You said the beating that if we have a, what would a swarm, a hive that's about to swarm look like?
You're not gonna have to worry about that.
Your yard's gonna fill up with a tornado of bees.
If you're a really busy hive with a ton of
gonna be
swarm
like a
cells,
funnel.
see this
About 9 times.
bottom cell, down like fingers. Dozens.
And then
Yep. Nothing.
get a ladder and a bucket.
You can't do anything. It's
You want to
Mother
get a new
Nature.
box?
You said you can't get any boxes. No, I don't want to get one, but.
Well, I
So we buy 5 frames and we can borrow one of your new boxes, right?
No. What
No?
you do is, when you have a hive,
Oh, we need to use our. We don't have any extra.
Look at this one, Tom.
okay, so the person that first
Look at it.
has 5 frames and you
Yeah,
start
that's
for a new,
covered.
you're gonna put
Oh
5
my God.
blank.
Hardly.
I can't tell if I'm getting it because of the sun.
Probably can't fly.
Five.
This one is too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Try not to, make it so the hive would swarm.
But let's replace them.
She's even got it on
So if I've got empty boxes and I've got if my one
Yeah, there's several here,
Yeah.
just covered.
frames with
He can hardly move.
Yeah.
He's got it on his head, on the sides.
Everywhere.
No. Nope. Not gonna be a problem.
So now why
What I
did
do
it
is-
landing-
Can't tell. Okay.
So we scraped that all off.
Yeah, well, those
The
dead.
dead ones, yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Coming in now.
Straight down from these bushes here,
I see.
so it makes it a little easier
Yeah,
for me.
mine's a little on the other way.
Yeah, you have her. You should have had the hive opening at your house. It's kind of far. Where you are is awesome.
There he goes. Look at him.
Wow.
I put these back.
I wish I knew how to zoom.
I know, huh? Joe, look at this one covered with pollen.
It's covered. Every bit of his body is
He's all
covered.
yellow.
There's more pollen on than it is bee.
Yeah, that one too. His butt gets pollen. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. There you go. Guys, look at this.
Look at this
Pollen
covered.
all over his butt, his head,
yellow.
and his baskets.
Mm.
Her. Did I say his?
Yeah, the workers.
Oh, over to hive 2. Excuse me for a second.
Put this box back on. But there's bees working.
Can you just make sure that's still videotaping?
It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's still.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah, really hot in the sun.
That's what my husband says. He lies out in the sun. Even if the bees like him.
All right, so what I will do is I will throw their pollen patty back up top. I don't want to disrupt her.
Yeah, look at, huh?
I'll just keep
Don't forget your first. Have you fed Fumagellin yet?
No, not yet.
See, Fumagellin feeding, you want to get that in, and it's going to be no problem. They can fit a gallon of feed in this hive, no problem. So over the next 3 weeks, feeding them a gallon of Fumagellin Simple, then your honey supers come on. Now, if this hive isn't developed into this full box, don't put honey super on it yet. I think this one might be a little busier, but you can't tell, they both seem busy. But there's a lot of pollen coming in this one, and you have to think pollen, that's babies. Anytime they bring out pollen.
Oh, there you go. The sun went in.
So the,
Okay.
You ready for your close-up?
Yeah. Paul's not going to medicate today. He can put the med room back on when he medicates.
We'll put these back up.
Nope.
Those will go over there.
I know.
See now, unfortunately, this stuff will get crushed like that. And just remember that this is winter side down.
Right.
We don't want that. Okay. Now you can put the sticks on there.
So,
What this,
Okay.
this should go down. But the fact that all of us have stuff under our inner cover that won't make it fit if you don't have a med room on. So that this is good until you want to medicate and until you want to put a honey super on. You know.
How would I prevent more of the not having as much mold?
Tell it not to snow so much.
you didn't put the top cover yet, did you?
What's that?
The little
No, no, I just said that. I put it down because that pollen patty wouldn't fit.
Right.
That hive has plenty of room not to draw comb. I did put winter side down, and I made a note of that because he's going to have to go in this hive for the next couple of weeks and medicate. So at that point, when he's all done medicating, feeding, all that, then it's going to be winter side down, but it will be on top of probably a honey super. Well, that one maybe not, though. Give it a couple of weeks, you never know.
So I'm a little confused. So the top.
The hole is down. On the other side is.
I didn't manipulate those boxes at all, right? I cleaned them and kept them the same order. Why? Because the queen was down the bottom. So this hive has 20 drawn frames up. This was the stronger hive, so it could be stronger. I hope it's stronger. I hope I have to clean and you know, it's funny. I think of cleaning a hive. Paul's hives don't need to be clean like mine. I have 10, 20, 30 years of propolis, and Paul has one season. I'll give you that.
That moldy cover a concern?
No, not a concern. Little mold there. Guys, beekeeping equipment, it's funny when people buy and they buy this perfect looking hive with no knots in it. It's pretty. Guys, see this tool? You ruin your boxes with it. That's a box. You know, he painted it to camo it. Awesome. You know, it's paint to cover the boxes. Inside, yeah, they get dirty, but this cover can still make 30 years. When's it going to be so snowy with the snow's above these for 2 months and to get a mold issue because they put that over here, so they wouldn't be able to ventilate it properly.
Can you take off the medication room, Joe? You might want to look on the side of it because I think there's something on the side. What is it?
Yeah, no, actually it's rubbing off.
Yeah.
Well, if it is, I'm sure there's nothing in this box that I haven't seen before. Hold on.
I really wanted to get a couple
Might be just.
And would you put these on the ground? There's a staple in there. On the other one. Yeah, perfect.
So Joe, on a breezy day like this, it's not probable.
You prefer not.
In your yard, you look at the book and they talk about a perfect apiary, which is not your yard. So you have to take all of the... Whose yard is this? I knew whose yard this was. I knew I wouldn't be opening my hive because it's so cold. But Paul has it between his house and these rhododendrons, and it's such a wind block. I knew it feels warmer than 54 here. Yeah. If it was that windy, these bees would be all over all of us. They would not be happy at all.
So what's the ideal temperature to...
65.
65.
No breeze. All sun.
Okay.
Never happened. Tomorrow is supposed to be a great day for everyone who wants to open their hives. I actually have another hive opening tomorrow in West Peabody in someone's back of the yard. There's another perfect example of how a bag feeder works absolutely perfectly, right? Where are the dead bees? Where are they? Where are they?
Wow.
Not a one.
Get an A plus.
So what do you put in
An
this
X.
bag?
See, the X is there to there. It's 1-to-1 sugar syrup. Rather than having the jars up front in the cold weather, we put a bag inside. Any in-hive feeder, the bags go right on top. It's as close to the brood as any feeder could ever get. It's on the brood, right above it. If you put a Boardman feeder on it and it's 50 degrees, the bees are not feeding from the Boardman feeder.
Yeah.
They're not even near it. They're up top. This is right up top, where the heat of the bees comes, and that's where they're going to be.
When did you put that in, Joe?
Putting the fondant on it, I was
What's that?
When did you put that in? When
This
did he
one?
put it in?
2 weeks
Paul
ago?
put
A
it
week
in?
ago?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
last week.
about a week
that
ago?
light
Okay.
color bee.
So do you put them in all year?
I put them in October, November, and then I stopped feeding liquid until March. And this year, definitely got liquid on them in March as soon as I could. Normally, I'd wait for liquid till April, but this is a really bad winter, so they needed sugar. They needed help. If you don't feed your bees, you're going to be buying a package, and this year they're 125. They're going to be 135 next year, and so on and so forth. Nukes will be 200 probably next year. It's just, they're going up and up and up. So to buy a couple dollars worth of sugar for an insurance policy, a fund, and a couple dollars, you spend $20 extra. He has 2 alive hives. Where the people, still did this, lost hives, but the people that didn't do all this prepping, they lost, and they have to buy again. Guy from Georgetown, very nice guy. I'm not going to use his name. Just kind of funny. He took the last class, so if anyone took the last class Thursday nights in the fall, he was there. Lives in Georgetown, and he took my bee class and asked him why he was taking it. It's his 3rd year keeping bees, and he said that his hive has died, and he wanted to learn how to keep them alive. So he called me this spring, and he needed help. He needed help doing a springtime manipulation because his springtime manipulation was purely installing packages. So he knew how to clean a dead hive and install a package. That was it. So you can see where the bees have taken the honey, and the rest of it's from last year. This is not from this year. I mean, this for sure, how dark this is travel stain. I mean, it definitely is darker than up here.
They ate all the honey.
Well, this was the old brood chamber that they packed honey in, but this is old honey from last year. This is definitely not. If they were packing that sugar syrup, it would be a sheer sheet of glistening.
So that's a honey wall on the other side of that one, right?
Yeah, it is. It is a honey wall in the number 1. That's why I never pull the number 1 first. When I clean a hive, I will pull the number 1 because I'm going to be cleaning the ears. All honey, you can feel the weight.
Wow.
Now what's all this at the bottom there? Just excess.
That's actually the top.
Oh yeah.
That's the top, but that's just burr comb. If I wanted to, cut it off, I could just slice it off. No big deal. See how the ears aren't really that bad.
So that's a honey.
I'm gonna put this back in. A little mold down there, and a little mold where my finger is. No big deal. It is purely from this winter. Little pine needle. So Paul, we get a little house clean and get the pine needles
So why is
out.
there so much honey left?
My guess is that they clustered so tightly, the insulation of all the snow, they didn't have to heat their hive quite as much. That's my guess.
One of the things I did this year is I actually had to keep this generator here clear. So
Yeah,
as I was clearing it, I kept putting snow around my hives.
You guys ready? You guys are looking at see how this.
Listen, wait, don't tell us where she is.
She's not on there at all.
No.
But you see the brood chamber? This is the old brood chamber, the dark color. Okay, that was brood, and then they packed honey for the winter. But right now, you can maybe see some glistening in here.
Yeah.
Because you guys have the sun to your back, I don't.
Yep.
And the glistening is...
What do you think? It's not pollen. Listen, there's only babies, pollen, and honey. So if it's yellow, green, red, blue, that's pollen. If it's clear, liquid looking, that's honey. And if it has a worm, an egg, or if it's capped, that's brood. There's no secrets here.
Joe, he's got so much honey here. Can he get his honey soup design early this year?
Oh, you got to medicate.
Yeah, after you medicate. Yeah.
No, it's all.
Okay.
See now, see the glisten? That once you see that, Steve, all done. You know there's no brood here. That's it. Once you see what they're doing, why bother looking anymore? Backside, very little, nothing, right? So she's not there.
So these are the bees that overwintered.
Yes.
Yeah, they both overwintered.
There's a lot of bees in here. I'm amazed.
There's a difference between two hives.
Well, I'm looking at my hive, and I'm going to be thinking I'm not going to pull out my frames and see these many bees.
You never know.
Never know.
This is light. This is light. The weight tells you all. Now, someone was talking about color. Now, see the color that brood there?
Yeah.
Right? Now, ready for this? See the color? It's a little bit darker because this stuff has been emerging.
Oh, I see
Okay,
the
so
brood change.
you guys can see eggs or anything in there?
Yeah, I do.
Larvae?
Yeah, larvae. There's
Perfect.
You
larvae.
see it over here?
No, you know why?
No. Oh,
Because
the
the sun's
sun.
on our back.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why I don't even bother looking.
Okay.
If you have an open frame, if it's breezy, cool, you can't leave it out of the hive too long. And anyone's noticed I haven't been cleaning the bars down. There's nothing on them. Trust me.
So let's pretend these two frames have bird comb. And what are we going to do if they do?
They don't. Paul's bees
No, I'm
are
just
neat.
saying mind you.
Mind you. There she is, right in the middle. See her? Right in the middle. Yep.
Oh, wow.
So-
Yes.
No, I don't. Can you show it to him one more time?
Okay.
Did you see her?
No, I don't see her.
No.
She's your queen.
I know.
Right there. Right there.
Oh.
There she is.
You could do you actually?
Right there.
You should post these.
larvae
yes.
in there,
on
Joe?
site.
You see it there?
Is there larvae in there, guys? You can't.
Tip
I
it down a
can't.
little more. Tip it down. I only see cap. Oh no, I think I saw one there, but it's mostly just cap.
No. Oh, eggs. That spot right there are eggs.
I definitely saw larvae in the.
And just to let you know, the closer you get, it's not going to help anybody. You know why? Your head's in the sun.
Yeah.
So look at this, and they go like this. And I'm going to tell you something. What you need to do is look at, for development in your hive, and you'll learn. You see the size difference. And a hive opening isn't always the best. Now this is heavy weight-wise. There's some brood on this side.
Yeah.
That's all cap brood, Joe, in the middle.
All cap brood in the middle. This side has bigger larvae. See it?
Yeah. Oh, yep. Yep. Yeah.
In the very center, see the larvae? This is 6-7 day larvae. That's
I
big.
see it.
It's dominating the whole cell, which means it needs to be capped soon. It's just this. You know what you guys need to do?
I see, yeah.
Google brood, and then
know, I just
and I
wanna
know
see
the
it.
day.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
If it dominates the whole cell, that means it's done growing. It needs to be
Yeah.
capped. All right. So there's another frame of brood. So this hive has these 4 frames have brood on them. I can see that's a wall of honey. Now, if you notice, there's not a ton of pollen in this hive. Well, that one. There's not a lot of pollen out. That's why if there's a little pollen today, they come in with that yellow pollen, which is the maple.
So we seen any drone cells?
Don't need to.
It's emerging.
If you're up for it.
Yeah, I am.
You have more frames.
Yeah, you're already recording.
Okay.
Hive, I'd have 40 frames to look through. For this hive, I only have 20. And this is actually the number 10. And this is number 2. I always try to take the number 2 out so I know which one. And Paul put the dates on one side. This really wouldn't matter if I put it in the wrong direction because there's honey on both sides. But you see that side's exposed and that side has the date. I think I should do this, Paul, but I did put those 2. Or you might have put those 2 in the wrong way. So, after a year or 2 goes by, you're going to have dates on both sides of your frames, and you're going to know where your frames go. Why? You're going to know to put a wall of honey towards the outside, brood all in the middle. Try not to switch the order, that's all. All right, so now I need to take this off. This one, will be okay.
And not lose the queen.
So when I opened up a few weeks ago to put in some fondant, I had a whole bunch of drone brood up top. So I should just
Drone brood.
Yeah.
You know what's
And I
funny?
had drones all winter.
That's amazing. I don't know how you, honestly, you
was
should have taken a picture and sent it into a magazine. Something like that never happens.
Because
Either that
like
you have
all
a...
winter, like I was going out and clearing the opening when it was getting buried by snow, and I'd have bees coming out.
Look at everybody. Look at that. You gotta take a picture. You gotta take a picture. Your first frame?
Yep. Bee school.
He made it, yeah?
And I was having drones like walking out of the hive. I was like, what are you doing?
Now, in the fall, after the fall, there's no reason to have drones. And right now, before they take, and have drones for a new queen, they're gonna waste all their resources on workers. Drones, if they had a hive full of drones, I mean, I would say...
That's dripping honey.
Dripping what?
Look like it's dripping honey.
Dripping what?
Dripping
sugar syrup, guys.
Sugar syrup.
And what else is on this frame?
Fruit.
Pollen.
You got it.
Right? All you need to do, guys, remember this trick? Look at all the pollen plugs.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's just like a little prism type.
Yep.
See all the different colors through it.
So what about the drones is unusual because...
The hive doesn't need a drone. What's the hive going to do with a drone in the wintertime?
Try to kill them in the fall is what they do, right?
Kick them out so they don't eat food. Yeah, all honey. This is empty. Now I can see the progress there.
So I was asking Stephanie Williams, and she said maybe the queen got confused.
No, absolutely not.
So why would I have?
The queen would get confused when she runs out of sperm and a spermatheca not to fertilize an egg.
Okay.
It's convenient.
Okay, there you go.
Continue.
Yeah.
You're gonna have multiple hives. It's definitely the way to go.
This was the top floor, right, Joe?
No,
That's the bottom box?
no, it is the top box. Yeah, the top box is most times she's gonna be in the top box. If it's a really busy hive and this is a horrible spring, the weather was different, there'd be more brood,
So you're switching the boxes because
Because she's on the bottom and it promotes the bees to grow. If anyone wants to know how not to crush a bee, put a box like that and slide it. And if they get in your way,
I can hear him screaming. Right?
You'll clean them out next time.
Yeah.
I didn't kill that many, did I?
No.
I guess that was the thing in the winter. I just wanted to drop the sun in as fast as possible. It was so cold.
Oh no, they're gonna move. Come on. You push down.
Step right under the eye, you got
why did you push down? Just
Listen,
snug fit?
have you heard bees? I didn't crush any. That was my point.
So you're not putting the sticks
Nope,
back?
because I didn't
Okay.
have a pollen patty or a fauna patty to squish. I
okay.
put the cover on correctly.
Okay.
They have the ventilation because I have this.
Did you smoke that high?
Not
I
really.
didn't think you did. Yeah.
What's
I
that?
just,
You don't need to put the block just to keep it up a little.
No, because this is definitely ventilated out to this hole. And if I put the cover on, I put my fingers in this hole, pull it all the way back. That means that is a ventilation hole. These bees don't need warmth. I mean, at this point, they're going to warm the hive plenty. 50s and 60s, it was 0 a couple weeks ago, or 30, and they seem to manage fine.
so are the hives slanted?
Yes.
So, easy way to
Forward.
determine that, when we put our sugar syrup back in the hive, like I told everybody, what you want to do is you want to turn it and get an airlock.
Make sure it's dripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dripping towards us. See it.
Oh yes. Okay. And the level would be.
If your hive stands perfectly level, put a little shim under each side of your hive. Just have it that slight bit. Because your hive stand is going to settle. It's especially a new person's putting a hive stand in one spot. Because you figure that ground soft, you've never had. And then you start out with something that might weigh 30, 40, 50 pounds. And by the end of the year, this hive stand's going to weigh 400 pounds. Because both hives are on it. At one point, with honey supers, maybe even more. I just do that so I don't have a reservoir of sugar syrup in my my feeders. So usually I drip it off to the side, but I wanted to see where the hive stand was tilting. So it's tilting that way, and that's a hive opening. All right. So one hive we manipulated, you know, the other hive, weird that stayed in the bottom box. The reason being, there was no honey and there was a lot of missing comb in the top box.